Ladies Room comes to you compliments of
Renwick and Thompson Limited,
agents for Western Union,
and Beacon Insurance.
Partner is the laundry detergent that gets the job done. This multi-purpose brand is designed with you in mind, catering to all your needs. The soap bar and liquid detergent was created and added to S. Kumar's line of products. This addition guarantees to be mild on the skin, allowing the bar soap to be used as a beauty bar and ideal for hand washing. The liquid soap with added softener leaves your clothes with a bright clean while removing all odor, dirt, and grease. The liquid soap is ideal for your appliances, ensuring great performance. For luxurious laundry detergent, choose a Partner.
We plan for every major life event, from birthday parties to baptisms, and celebrating a life well lived deserves the same thoughtful planning. Beacon's Rest Easy plan is designed to give your loved ones the comfort of knowing that they can do just that. With no underwriting and cover for up to 6 family members that includes certain injuries, this plan can be yours for as little as 75 cents per day. Call us at Beacon or log on to beacon.co.tt for more info today.
2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6.
Education multiplies their chances and places the world of opportunity in their hands. No matter where they are in the world, make sure they are prepared for their journey back to school with Western Union. School fees, books, room and board, whatever the reason. Knowledge, independence, opportunity. Western Union, moving money for better.
Good morning, my people. How art thou? Good morning, ladies and problems. Hope all trust me in today's problems. Yeah, for real. Today it's really ladies and problems. I'm not sure how many of you saw my Facebook status, as my friend would say in the US. But if you did, yeah, for real. Today it's a real ladies and problems day. Y'all be doing the most, man. Listen. Anyway, before we really get in, I felt like I had something in my eye, like a lash or something, and I took one lash off to fix it, and then didn't realize I didn't have my glue to put it back. So if my eyelash falls out on the live, please be nice, all right? Because I know here y'all stay, and because it's Aruna, it's gonna be like a running joke. Or y'all gonna take it and do the most with it. So just in case, I have to keep this eye like really still, because how do you remove your lash and not ensure you have a glue to put it back on? Makes no sense. But whatever was in my eye was really annoying. It's like, when you have something in your eye, you just gotta get rid of it. So at that point, it was irritating me so badly. Like I was starting to get a headache from whatever was in my eye, that I just pulled it out, not realizing I did not, I even have a little glue on me. So I have to keep this one still, because I just rested back there. Because there was no way I was going to do one eyelash, because I didn't want to pull out the other one to damage my lashes. So, but because this one was running water, it made it easier to pull out. So it was easy to detach. Anyway, so for whatever reason, if y'all looking and you just see something fall, it's my lash. All right? Just putting that out there. You see, when you talk about yourself first, when people talk about you, it's like, blah. There's no excitement there. So let me just put it out there just in case it falls out. Okay? So, guys, come on in the live and share and share and share. Please, because we really need to have Alan says I'm gonna be all right. Thanks, Alan, for the vote of confidence. Good morning, Andrea. I saw your message, but I'm gonna look after when I come off air. I'm gonna look. Good morning, Christelle. Good morning, Della. Good morning, Keisha. G-Eds. Good morning, Sonia. Good morning. Arthur is in San Fernando, Trinidad. I probably should have put on my glasses. Hold on. That's not a bad idea at all. Come to think of it, G-Eds, that's a pretty good idea. So, hold on, let me check. Listen, y'all don't want to see my work bag. You would swear I'm traveling. I got everything in there. Anything happens to me on the road, I'm safe. There's a swimsuit, a change of clothes. There's, slippers in my vehicle. perfumes, there's snacks, there's Lysol, my shades. Oh, the shades I have, I'm not sure it's gonna match the outfit, but I prefer not matching than having my Andrea. No, I got my shades. So I usually have the glue, but I took the bottle out to refill it. It's a little bottle, so I usually refill it. Hold on, let me put up my shades. Alrighty. So G-Eds, that was a really good suggestion. Why didn't I think of that? So I'm working with shades today just to protect myself. I can't be the brunt of any jokes. My year ended pretty well. No Aruna being headlines, and I started with No Aruna being the headlines. So I don't want no disruption before my birthday. No nothing. Just want to be left alone, at peace, my own little lane. So let me protect myself. All right, G-Eds, thanks. You win today. You got the Nutmeg Award for that suggestion. Why didn't I think of that? Alrighty, so we safe now. Listen, 9 minutes talking about me and my lash. This is a world record. I had another shades. As a matter of fact, I got like 3 of them, but this one will work fine because I can see through it. Today we want to talk to the men, and my disclaimer is I really want to call the dude's name, but because I can't really fight good, but if I have to defend myself, I would. And when the people who know me when I was like size 1, now I'm like 5. I'm like, I border between 7 and 8. Maria, I'm not putting no paper glue on my lashes. So yeah, so I was saying, to make me lose my train of thought. Yeah. So back in the day when I was like, yes, Toya. So let me just say this, guys. This is an actual real life scenario. As a matter of fact, the person is like has sent me this since last. Let me go into my inbox. It's like a real. It's not no made up story. Most of what I do, it's not made up stories. It's like real. They are like so. This person sent it to me on Saturday. A matter of fact, on Friday they messaged since the day before, but I didn't see it. They messaged me since the Thursday, but I saw the message Friday because I don't check my messages every day. So on Saturday I got it. So it's like a real life scenario, and no made up, no nothing. It's like an actual something. And yesterday again she reminded me, please, could you put this out because it's really, she really wants to hear my take. And of course I already gave her my take, but she wanted to hear how my audience feel about it. So it's a real life situation. Now, as I was saying, like when I was size 1 and 2, maybe no, I don't want to, when I have like a little 5 to 8 going, for nobody to hit me and make me lose a little weight and go back to being a size 1. So I'm gonna leave the name out of it. But it's just sad that there are actually women going through these things. And for those of you wondering what I'm talking about, in case you have not seen the scenario, let me just share it with you. And I posted it just the way she sent it to me. I didn't edit, I didn't take out, I didn't put in anything. She says, our daughter's birthday was days ago. Her father bought her a birthday cake. Each day that passed after her special day, I would ask him about the cake, and his response would be, I will drop it tomorrow. On the 7th day after her birthday, he showed up with part of the cake and expected me to accept it, which I calmly refused. He then got angry and said I am bold because I didn't contribute towards buying the cake for her, but I want everything. And if he gave someone a piece of the child's cake, it's none of my business because it's his money that paid for it, not mine. So when my money spent, then I can talk. He continued to say I am wicked, and who am I to not accept what he bought for our child? So she wants to know, am I wicked and wrong to not accept what he bought for our child? I need to take off my sheets just in case Mr. Man listening, because I want him to see me clearly and hear me. I really hope he's listening. You'll know who you are. It can't get any lower than that as a man. I mean, I've heard stories that, women talk about they go through daily, but this one here, it's like it takes the cake. It's like, it's like this takes the cake. Like I've heard of some low down, dirty acts being done to baby mothers and children, but this right here takes the cake. I have not heard anything like this. You'll probably hear, well, they didn't give anything, and I'd prefer you didn't give anything. Or, you set a run around and run after. Like, yo, it is 100% for real. Like, this is what baby mothers go through on a daily. Like, and let's take out the baby mother. It ain't even about her. It's about your child. How do you, as a man, worth your salt, not just a day after her birthday, not 2 days, 7 days, a whole week after, you show up with half of a cake? How do you bring half a cake for a child, though? Do you know how, especially a little girl, I don't know if it's a little princess cake, those little, how they love their cakes. And as a father, wouldn't you take pride in bringing a cake to your daughter with all the little candles on it and watching the excitement and happiness on her face? Thank you, daddy, and blow out her little candle. I mean, I don't have no issue because you won't give a child a whole cake to eat. I mean, at some point, of course, after you cut the cake, you share it up among friends or whatever you. So it's the principle here. It's not that you couldn't get half of the cake to go with if you wished, but it's the principle. How do you show up at your child's for? How do you show up and hand your child half a cake? That is the question I want to ask. And then you turn around and call the mother wicked for not accepting it. Damn right, she shouldn't accept it. This is one time I'll be like, y'all set yourselves up for violence, I swear. So she should be happy to accept whatever it is just because her money didn't spend for it. So because she didn't spend her money on it, it is okay. That is a sort of mouth on the ground mentality. Like, take what you get. But it's not even about her. It's not about her taking what she gets. It's about your daughter. Your daughter's birthday. Richard St. Bernard, I swear on my mother whom I love with all my heart and soul, this is not no Nancy story. It is an actual something that happened. How do you as a man turn up and give your child, like, forget the baby mother, take her out of the picture. But as a man, how do you even begin to tell your daughter, here's half a cake 7 days after? If that doesn't say you don't care, I don't know what does. I don't know the dynamics of the relationship. I don't care about the dynamics of the relationship between you and baby mother, because we know how that goes. It's always some wrangling and pulling and tugging here, there, and the other. Monty says there's more to this story. It's not a logical scenario. Well, Monty, if you've ever had dealings with baby mothers and baby fathers, trust me, it is logical, because some of the stories I've heard and some of the stories that are shared with me daily, trust me, not just because you wouldn't do something doesn't mean somebody else wouldn't be that petty. And like I said, it's not even about the relationship between them. That's for them to work on. Co-parenting is never an easy thing, especially if people parted ways, in whatever manner. But at the end of the day, the child is what counts. That's the priority. And my whole thing is, if you as a father consider your child, love your child, whatever relationship you have with the mother is not even, when it comes to like your child's birthday, you put that on ice and make sure that your child is happy on that day. You and the mother can go back to being whatever the next day, but on that day. So it just shows that a whole bunch of children are making children, because there's no way you can be a mature adult and don't see anything wrong with bringing piece of cake for your child. after you were given the task. Well, it shouldn't even be a task. It should come naturally. It should be something you want to do. So even if you offered or you volunteered or you were told or given the responsibility to provide your child's birthday cake on that day, 7 days is that it's bad enough that you bring peace, but not just peace the day, peace 7 days after. And when the mother says decided she was not gonna accept it, she refused it, you get angry and cuss her out, telling her she didn't contribute towards buying the cake. And if he gave someone else piece of the child's cake, is none of your business. It's not, young man, it's not about, it's the principle. There's nothing wrong with giving somebody piece of the cake, but what was wrong in bringing the child's whole cake and then saying, of course, a child will not be able to eat a whole cake. Like I said, you're going to cut it up and share it out amongst friends, family, whatever. After you give the child, baby girl, here's your cake, then you cut it, then you take your piece and bounce, or whatever the case might be. But it's just disrespectful on so many levels. And for you not see something wrong with that, the person asking if their name will be called. Nope, we don't call names. We just sent her a message. She wants to know. No, we don't call names. As tempted as we are, we don't call names. Yeah. So it is unacceptable. It is. No matter how much you try to spin it, turn it around, upside down, it is just, that is totally. Toya Harris, you're making a very, very important point here. Toya says you are teaching your daughter how low her worth is. You are showing your daughter how much you value her. Yeah, Jackie, tell me put man on blast. You're not in Grenada to defend me when man see me in the street and put 2 pieces of 4x4 behind my head. You helping me defend myself? I'm just dealing with the story. I ain't calling nobody name. Next thing I come off air and the man waiting downstairs for me. As soon as I walk down the step, a piece of 4x4 behind my head, stay out of people's business. No, thank you. Let me just do my little part over here and let this be a message to, and to look at it on the flip side, it's also a learning experience that not everybody that you sleep with, you get pregnant for or by them. Some people from jump, they're not good father or mother material. So to me, the biggest takeaway here is be careful about who you let impregnate you. Be careful who you have a baby by, especially when you see these things, because I'm sure this isn't something you see overnight. It's little things that we ignore. And then, when it gets unbearable, we speak up. But I'm sure there are things that you notice that says this person will not be a good life partner, would not be a good father to my child or children, or whatever the case might be. Or you probably know they have other children that they don't take care of, but for some reason you think they will be different with your child. And you hear when the mother of his previous children are blowing up his phone, telling him they need milk, they need shoes, they need whatever. And he bluntly refused to get it because of for whatever reason. And you're sitting there smiling because it keeps him away from her. And you're feeling safe because we're in love at this point. But always think that could be me. Because if he's doing this to her, it's not even about her. It's about the children. If he's doing this to her, possibility kind of exists that do it to me. Brian says those are not fathers. No, they're not, because there's no way any man worth his salt or considers himself a father would consider himself to be a father and bring his child 7 days after the fact a piece of cake. And if you're dealing with a man and you're seeing that and you're not, as a woman, encouraging him to do better, then it's kind of hard to be sorry for you if it happens to you too, because you're laying there grinning, gib, in with him, joining him in bad mouthing the mother, and instead of saying to him, "Listen, I know things aren't bright with you and Susie, but for the child's sake, just for the child's sake, just do your part. You don't need to deal with her. If you don't want to deal with her, maybe her mother is there, her sister is there. You can give the allowances to, or give whatever you need to give to. If you don't want to talk to her directly, or make it, have some middleman who can, take whatever you need, get whatever you need, and handle it for you. But if you're sitting there and you're laughing with him when he's cursing out, and then the same thing happens to you, kind of hard to be sorry for you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm just trying to find out something. There's an advertisement with Insure Insurance at Bonds Point.
What? You're gonna have to call me back about 11:35 thereabouts, because I'm on air right now. You call directly on my program.
Oh Lord, sorry.
It's okay.
All right.
All right. I'm not sure who's insurance. I can't help you just yet, but the way my head is now, I can't even begin to tell you who or what that is. Yeah. There's so many comments I can't even keep up. Someone here says, I really applaud that mother for standing up for herself and for her daughter. Someone else probably would have taken it and say, you know what, it's better than nothing. But guess what? It is better than nothing to not have half a cake to give to your child in the first place. Who gives their child half of a cake 7 days after the fact? Knowing how children are about birthdays, and one of the things they really look forward to apart from their gift is their birthday cake. To disappoint a child like that and not see anything wrong with that says a lot about you as a human. I totally agree. Someone says, when young women grow up and accept mediocrity from men, we wonder why. Look at what some fathers are doing to their own children. And that is the crux of the matter. And then we say, oh, women are this, and they have self-esteem problems, and young men are this and that. I don't care. And I know sometimes it could be difficult, and because it goes both ways. There are mothers who make it really hard for fathers to do their duty by their children. And I can forgive and excuse a father who's trying his utmost, but is getting resistance from the mother, because most of the time in these situations, children live with the mother and not necessarily the father. A lot of the times, the mothers have custody of the children. And I know there are situations where fathers, because they talk to me as well, I get the inbox messages as well, that they've been trying, and for whatever reason, maybe they cheated or they left the relationship, and the mother isn't happy with that, so they'll do everything in their power to keep their child or children away from them, no matter how hard they try, without going to court, to have access to their children. They can't. All they can do is provide, whether it's the money or whatever they need, and they can't see their children, can't bond with them, can't find time, don't have time to be with them, don't get time to be with them, and all of that. We get all of that. We understand all of that. But I'm saying, when you have the opportunity to be in your child or children's lives, regardless of the relationship that you have, both parties could be difficult. Co-parenting, based on what I've heard, is not the easiest thing to do. I get a lot of stories. It's very hard, especially when one is pulling that way, one is pulling the other way. It can be very difficult. And it takes maturity to get to a place where you can co-parent, even though you're moved on or you're in another relationship. It takes maturity and understanding it's not about me. It's about this child or these children. Their interest should come first at all times. So let me put however I feel about him, or let me put however I feel about her on ice, and let me deal with making sure my children's needs and wants are taken care of. No, there's a lot of bad blood. There's a lot of hatred, for want of a better word, between parents. We understand that. But a lot of the times, we let our emotions get the better of us because of how we feel about that particular parent, and the child suffers as a result. It takes maturity and a lot of love for your child to say, you know what? I can't take on this woman. She gets on my nerves. She annoys me. She irritates me. But I love my daughter. I love my son. I love my kids. So I'm going to do my best. Whatever resistance I'm going to get, I'm going to push back to make sure that my children know that I'm there for them and I'm going to take care of them. But there's no way I'm going to excuse a man being in his child's life, turning up 7 days later, piece of cake, cussing the mother out because he refused to accept it. And he does not see anything wrong with that. As a matter of fact, she should accept it because she didn't contribute to the cake. So whatever she lucky, it's almost like, you're lucky to get a piece of cake. Who does that? Like, seriously. How do you love somebody, love your child, and you hurt your child in the same process because you want to hurt the person that you're co-parenting with? A lot of the time, listen, ego, and some of all doesn't want to why people in our children. All it doesn't tell people about all them things, Oh, just try to make people feel bad. Nobody ain't making me feel bad. We all have our reasons for what we do and what we don't do. A lot of the times, y'all don't show all the ugly sides, only trying to make it nice. Oh, God say be fruitful and multiply, but God also say love your children. Not just for Father's Day come around or Mother's Day come around to put up, oh, this is my daughter, or this is my son, or these are my kids. And after Mother's Day and Father's Day gone, you treat them like... So I'd rather not have a child going through that with somebody who I thought would be a good parent or a good person, and our relationship ends for whatever reason, and my child has to suffer. We all have reasons why we do things. So when you see somebody saying, you know what, I don't have children, I don't want children, stop trying to make them feel bad or guilt trip them into doing it because you think that's what they should do. But you have, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You have them, and you're treating them like nothing, but you want to guilt trip another person. How do you even turn up and hand your child a piece of cake? I'm not sure what's the age of the child, but how do you just hand a child a piece of cake and you're happy and comfortable with that? That is disrespectful. And I applaud that mother for not accepting it. I really applaud her, and I told her that for not accepting it. And she even went on to say this isn't even half of what she goes through on a daily. So I shudder to think what else she goes through. Imagine 7 days after the fact. Bishop Maria say, Aruna, I seen it happen. My sis boyfriend gave her son a sheep for his birthday. And when they finished, he came in our yard one day and took the sheep. Well, you must get him kind of bad. Wait, hold on. Aruna, I've seen it happen. My sister boyfriend gave her son a sheep for his birthday. And when they finished, he came in our yard one day and took the sheep, and he didn't let the sheep walk. He raised it and go into it. So I believe, man, I'm in sympathy. Go, where let us get this kind of people and them to make children, bro? Listen, hold on. I need... Wait. Y'all gonna make my eyelash fall out for real now, eh? Hold on. You're really gonna make my lash fall out for now. For real. Maria, you for real, Maria? Listen, I need to highlight this. This is hilarious. Hold on, I have a call. Good morning. Oops, lost you. You can call back. 440-9595. So the man didn't buy the sheep for the son. He buy the sheep just to be with the woman, to stay close to the woman. How you buy a sheep for your child to teach him little responsibility and give him something to do, and you and the woman then you go in the yard and pick up the sheep and walk out with it? And she said he didn't even let the sheep walk. He raised it and go with it. No. Canadian men are on a different level of petty, I swear. That takes the petty cake. Good morning.
Good morning, Sister Aruna.
You are live on the air.
Aruna, morning.
Morning.
I listen to the program and our story has two sides.
Mm-hmm.
Because the woman might be saying all of that, saying everything just to make her part look nice. But on the other side, the man might tell you a different story and it might be something wrong.
True.
It must be a problem, Aruna.
That's why we're saying it happens. That's why I said there are some mothers that makes it very difficult to be a good father to your children. I said that part.
Some mother make it difficult for the father to do.
I said all of that. That it's not always on the father's side. There are some mothers who make it very, very difficult for fathers to be in their children's lives. But in this instance, we're talking about. So regardless of whatever him and the mother have, you ain't see that as a problem. A man bringing piece of cake for each child.
It's a big disrespect because at the end of the day, right? Once you have a child, you're supposed to be there for that child, right? Tell us whatever the situation is. Forget whatever relationship the mother have, but the child is important.
That's what I'm saying.
And I support it that 100%, right? But that's we always have to say because you have that women that get back to men.
True, that is true. I'm not disputing that at all.
I think just to get back at the man. I want to see man move with the next woman. Just stretch your mouth long, as Philippine nose, and the way.
Stretch your mouth long like who?
As Philippine nose. Yeah.
Have a good one. Listen, y'all are jokes today, and I'm dead serious. I swear. Could we get back on track? Y'all listen. Stretching mouth long like, listen. As I was saying, hold on, let me just check the messages here. Someone says, "What's not to love about this program?" I swear, every time I come here, I either leave happy or I either leave happier. That story with the sheep is hilarious. I'm trying hard to believe it, but it sounds so unbelievable. How do you do that to a child? I don't know, but they do it. They do it. I'm not sure what was the... I can't read that out, sorry. I can't read it out. Let me take 2 more calls before we go. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Aruna.
Hi. Oh, good.
Well, I just had to call in for this.
Tell me.
Yeah, but as I was saying in the message that I sent in, right, this is not a logical scenario. And generally, I try not to comment on horror stories because this basically sounds like a horror story, right? Because I tend to believe as human beings, we're always selfish and we always try to get people to come on our side, to get our point of view. And it is very natural for us to leave out a lot of critical information when we giving our scenarios. Because it's just like if you're found guilty of doing something, you always want people to buy into your story. But I'm just saying this to say this does not sound logical. A father, for instance, that is in his daughter's life, and generally most girls, as a father that have 2 girls, right? Generally, girls are very attached to their fathers, right? And I just think that something in this is missing.
But the difference is your children live with you. You don't have to go and see them or check them somewhere.
Well, yeah, that is true. That is true.
So the attachment, so you build that bond and that attachment. But if you're somebody you're seeing occasionally, it's hard to build a bond. So you have that advantage over a lot of them.
Because listen to me, I've heard about a lot of situations, right, where there's a lot of ladies that they're co-parenting, and they seem to think, okay, that it is a father's duty to provide every single thing, right? So, okay, so they claim, okay, I'm an independent mother, whatever the case may be, but yet every single thing, okay, school fees, the father had to pay everything. Birthday, the father had to put on the party, every single aspect. They don't seem to think that they have to contribute.
It's co-parenting. It's called co-parenting for a reason.
Yes.
Not one person. Do all the spending or do all the buying or it's co-parenting.
But
because I've heard of fathers who say that, you know what? How come when they have custody of the child that the mothers don't contribute anything at all? I don't think they should.
Yes, because a lot of women think that is the man's duty to provide everything financially. No. That's a lot of women think that way.
No,
and I'm telling you, Aruna, let me tell you something. Given the opportunity, 90% of the women out there, if given the opportunity, they would allow the man to spend every dime and they would not contribute. You
That's
can
it's
do a
co-parenting.
survey. You can do a survey, giving her the opportunity. If even if women, for instance, making good money, when it comes to children, if the father opt to pay for everything, they would not take up the slack.
Because there was a scenario some time ago where someone said the same thing. The man says this woman works for way more. Apparently, how it happened, they didn't really plan on it. You know, they
Yeah,
weren't like in a relationship, but she just happened to get pregnant and she was not ready for children. She said she didn't want any children, and
yeah,
she got pregnant. Decided she was gonna have an abortion, but he convinced her to go through it to have the baby, and he'll take care of it. He'll take it from her. You know,
yeah.
so that responsibility wouldn't be on her. And apparently, I was looking at it on, is it either Steve Harvey or somebody. Apparently, he took the child. He did take the child, and that was it. She completely washed her hands of it. And he was saying she works for like triple times what he works for. Like she could afford to. But her argument was, well, she didn't want a baby. She did it
So,
because went ahead with it because
but but
he
but
he
but but,
agreed to take the baby.
but you see the irony in that statement, right?
Hmm.
Because a lot of times men have no control over whether a baby comes into this world, right? Ask ask nine out of 10 men, right? When you get into these situations, if they wanted these children, sometimes they didn't, but the woman decided they were going to go ahead and have it. So we don't have a choice in the matter. So we basically so we it's just a strange dynamic to be discussing because as I've told you before, right?
But regardless of the logics or the logical, not logical, what do you think of it itself? I'm just
Well,
going based on what she said. Maybe you have
well,
other sides, what there's
okay.
no other side, but the fact that a man could turn up 7 days after his, I mean, that's kind of hard to lie. Why did you lie on a man? Even because, I mean,
No,
I know
listen,
I have access to the person. Would you lie and say a man turn up 7 days after his daughter's birthday with
listen.
half a cake?
Okay, let me put it this way to you, right? And I don't want to defend any bad behavior from any man.
Hmm.
I am just saying to you here and now, and I would love to have a conversation with this man, right? But I'm telling you here and now that is not a logical situation. A man would, I don't see how a man will turn up 7 days because it is unacceptable for a man to turn up 7 days after a child's birthday and give her half the cake, right?
Unacceptable,
I,
but it
I,
happens.
right? But I am saying to you, there's another dynamic to this that you do not know. I am willing to go out on a limb on that and say this because it could be something as simple as telling the mother, I am tied up right now. Come and collect the cake. And it could have been a problem. And then it sit on there for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days until the cake's in there. And then he decide, well, she don't want the cake, so so I'll share it away. You understand? This is just not logical. I've been around the block long enough to know when there's more to a story than is
Eddie,
what it
let me
feels
tell
like.
you, you have a lot of petty man, in case you didn't know.
Yes,
Because
it have
the amount of stories I could give you daily.
yeah, but that is how watch me tell you something. Women are very good at giving horror stories. That is really bad, horror stories. They always like the extremes,
Well,
right?
may not happen, but in this instance,
They didn't tell you how much things that men do to sometimes to meet them halfway and things so and how difficult they make it. But that just didn't make any sense.
I got you. All right, man. Mhm.
All right, take
Later. Yeah. My thing is dynamics, no dynamics, logics, no logics. At the end of the day, you come last. You can't come first. You come last. There's no justification, no trying to spin, no trying to excuse. You come last. Regardless of what transpired, like I said, even though listen, out of time, I don't even have the energy to. But Eddie, the thing is, even if that was the situation, even if he told her to come get it, it is your child. You ain't doing it for her, you're doing it for your child. So even if you tell her to come collect the cake and the cake sit down there 5 days, and you know the cake is for your child's birthday, there's no way if I tell you come and collect your cake and you know it's for the child's birthday, I'm sitting there watching the cake 5-6 days, knowing it's for my daughter. So I'm saying there's still no justification, there's no excuse, there's no nothing. No matter how we try to spin this, it's not going anywhere. The priority here is your child, regardless how you feel about the mother. The priority here, it was your child's birthday. And even if you told the mother, come collect it after day 1, and you see she ain't make no move, you pick yourself up and you bring that child cake wherever that child lives. That shows you care, you love, you're responsible. Whatever she does, that's her business. Your priority is your child. and that is all you're concerned about. So you show yourself up as the man and as the fact that, okay, you want to make this difficult, that's on you. But I'm going to make sure that my child is okay. If you want to make this situation, this co-parenting difficult, that's on you, but I'm going to do my part. So doesn't matter what the dynamics are, where is, if you know your child's birthday is coming up, you shouldn't have to wait 7 days after to bring the cake and bring half of the cake. So, okay, you tell me come for it one day, I ain't come for it, so I'll sit down and eat it. Like, what sort of petty nonsense is that, though? So we personalize things and let egos get in the way of things. It's not about you and the mother, it's about the child. It was her day. Everybody likes the best on their birthday. Even as adults, we go out for our birthdays. We want the best. We want dinner. We want to dress up. We want to do photo shoots because it's about us. We're selfish about our birthday. So why take that away from a child? Why take away that experience and being happy on that day? Have my little princess cake. What's the name of them little rude thing? Pig, Peppa Pig cake, whatever cake. Give the child her experience to enjoy her whole cake. And if you want the cake after, you want piece of cake to bring by your people or whatever you want to do with it, here, cut it. Fine, you can have it. But it's total disrespect to bring half a cake 7 days after for a child. And I rest my case. And I'm gone on that note. What you were saying here?
And the man on the phone not making no sense.
This one's Ollie, goodbye. We'll be back tomorrow for another show. Same time, same place. It's been a while since we did some scenarios. I have a lot piling up because remember for the last couple of weeks we've been doing a lot of guests. So I probably will touch another one. I have about a lot of them. Yeah. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for coming in the room and contributing. It's been a while. I laughed so hard in the ladies' room. That sheep story. Y'all are a mess. Anyways, Beacon Insurance, Western Union, S. Kumar, thank you so much for powering up our morning. And thanks everyone for joining us on the show. And it was good to see the men saying, you know, this ain't right, this ain't kosher, regardless of what's going on. I'm happy to see when men can stand up and say, you know what, this is unacceptable. Not because I really, really appreciate that, guys.
Ladies Room comes to you compliments of
Renwick and Thompson Limited.
Agents for West.